Wow, that was a fabulous recognition segment. We need a bigger stage. Great, wow. Congratulations. We're so excited to be here. It motivates us to see people winning. It excites us to win again. And so now you've attended a BBS. I'm speaking to the new people here. You've attended a BBS. This is a relatively big meeting. You will use some products, or you have used some products, and you have a reason why you want to do this business, and you need an extra income, So now what, right? What shall we do next? So the topic of this talk is your next 30 days. Like, what are we going to do the next 30 days? Now, I would say that every person sitting here, if you are relatively convinced that you want to use these products and you want to recommend these products to people, you want to kind of learn this business a little more, the one thing required for a new person, the beginning, the one thing is some posture, I see many new people, they join this business because of relationships mostly, You know somebody, you trust somebody, and you may not know so much about the products or the company, but you definitely know the person who has referred it to you. So you trust that person. Sometimes it's out of obligation, sometimes it's, friendship, and sometimes it's a little bit of trust. But you don't know what to do next, right? So you use the products, and all I say is to the new person is to have some belief in yourself that you have made the right decision. Have some belief in the person who is holding your hand and guiding you through this business. Have some faith in that person and the integrity of that person, right? And have some belief that if you stick with the process for the next 30 days at least, Sometimes we make up our mind too soon, It's not working. Like Staffan says, you wind a clock and then it doesn't work and you say it's not working. And we apply the same principle to this business. You've hardly done anything. You've heard a few CDs, you've used a few products, you spoke to 2 friends, and those friends were not interested. And that is enough for you to think this business doesn't work. So I say, hang on for 30 days at least, just the next 30 days. If you want to experience some reward in a job, in anything, you have to give it a certain amount of time for you to know whether it works or not. I mean, in 30 days, if you have done what the system tells you to do, been a core, come to every meeting, listen to CDs, done activities, read books, and in a month, if you feel you're going nowhere, then we might want to rethink. But mostly if you do these things, you will see some benefit in some area. Maybe not, you won't see the money in 1 month. But come on, in traditional business, you have to take 2 years to see even the losses come by, never mind profit. So let's be realistic about this business. This is like any other business. It is not like, oh, this is a member business. No, this is just a normal business. Just the way we do business is very different, right? Here, when you win, somebody else wins. And in the traditional world, it's not the same, You have to be better than other people to win in the traditional world. But here, we find better people than us to win. Right? So it's very different. So sometimes a new person gets confused as to whether this business is real or unreal. So give it 30 days. And have some posture. If you have absolutely no respect, or if you are embarrassed to do something, it will not work. I joined a runners club Now these people, they wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we meet at 5:30 and we run at 5:30. Why do they wake up so early? Because they are extremely busy professionals and they have no time, right? So they are all high achievers, fantastic guys, good runners. So I joined that club. Now why did I join the club? To meet high achievers, to introduce these fantastic products to them and to build a relationship with them, and then to get them into seeing this environment, winning environment, and to see this business, and then to grow in this business. So, a lot of the people in the club, they're using the products, they love, they get the benefits. Now, there's a really nice guy, he was one of the first weight loss clients I got in the club. So he lost 6, 7, 8 kilos. And he's doing very well. He loves the products. He showed some interest in the business, and he asked me, can I see the business? So I recommended the Slight Edge book. He started reading it. He loved it. And, he joined the business. Now, a few weeks ago, he joined the business, and, he got an SMS from Amway, right? We all get an SMS, right? Welcome to becoming an Amway distributor. And the next day when we went running, he says, Idhar, come here. What's it? So he takes me to the corner. Come. And I go to the corner. He says, "Mujhe SMS mila. Ab kya karu?" I said, "Why are you whispering?" I said, what are you talking about? And he says, "I got an SMS from Amway. Now what?" It's like, what are we running, some underworld corporation or something? How are you going to succeed if you are embarrassed about even getting an SMS from Amway, And I told him, come to a meeting, shh. And so it's not going to work. If all I say is, have some kind of posture that you're going to do something that is going to change your life. I'll hand over to Staffan. He'll give you a few principles, and I'll come back. And basically, this talk is about the next 30 days. What shall a new person do in the next 30 days? So, dear Staffan.
Yeah, the next 30 days, the first 30 days, maybe you're listening to this as an audio later, and you have just joined the business, maybe you have used the products and then got introduced to the business. But the statistics from Amway is very, very clear on this. That there are 3 ways you can access a product from Amway. You can just buy a product from someone who is a business owner in the business, like we are most of us in this room. And someone can buy a product from me if they want the product. That's a way to do business. Another way people can access products is that they can become a preferred customer of Amway. They can order online on their own and get the products that way. They cannot conduct business that way, but they are customers who can buy directly from the company. And then the third way is that people can join as Amway business owners. We call it ABOs. Now, what does a business owner do? A business owner does something. But the Amway statistics are very, very clear that right now in the Amway business in India, majority of the people who join as, quote, business owners are not doing anything at all. In fact, if you look at the percentage of people who join this as a, quote, business owner, 60% of, quote, business owners in this business are not even buying a product after they have joined as business owners. That's the statistics. Now, there could be many reasons for this. It's maybe not the person's fault, but someone who joins this business, like I did when I first started this business, I was told by the person who brought me into this business very clearly up front, who said, and she was very successful already, if you want to succeed in this business, and if you want to make this a plan that will work for your life, you will have to learn some new things, and you have to need to put in some effort. I liked hearing that. The right people like to hear that there is stuff to learn, and there is some things they need to do, and there is effort required to reach something in life. Successful people in any field never asks whether something is easy or whether something is difficult. People with a typical middle-class mentality will ask those sort of questions. Successful people ask not whether something is easy or difficult, but whether something is worth it. And if it's worth it, then they figure out a way to go ahead and do it and get the results that this business can produce. So I like to hear that there was stuff to learn. I didn't mind that, and so would most of you. You will be intrigued by the fact that there is new things you need to learn to get good at it. But the Amway statistics are very clear. Most people who join this business are not doing anything at all after they join. If they place one product order after they become a so-called business owner in this business, then they are already in the top 40% of the people who join the business. If you do the things that I know, and there could be many reasons for that, by the way. One reason could be that many people join this business because of a relationship. They are really people who just want to buy a product, they are a customer, and they are made a business owner by the person who shows this to them without being explained what to do. So very often this is the person's fault, the upline's fault, that someone signs up a person in the business and then do not explain the process and what are the next steps to conduct this business and to get results from it. That could be another reason. Another reason could be that people join with the wrong expectation. They join with the expectation that this is very different from anything else you have done. A person may have tried many things in their life, including working for 20 years, maybe tried a business of their own, and then they join this business and they expect that this business will deliver miraculous results in no time at all without putting in any effort. You know, sometimes in Bombay we have the train stations or the buses have these signs that someone has put up, glued up in the bus that says, earn 50,000 rupees a month, no effort required, no time investment, nothing to do, just call this mobile number. Now, would anyone in this audience make a phone call to something like that? I hope not. Only the wrong person would. And that some people have that expectation from this business. That's not how it works. You have to do certain things. Now, the good news is, and very often people don't get started in this business because they have their own hang-ups and their own fears, like Pramilla already discussed. Sometimes the dream can be smaller than the doubt. So the doubt is bigger than the dream. And the fear of failure, of starting something new and failing, is very big in some people's mind. Fear of failure is the absolute biggest killer for personal dreams and aspirations there is in life. And if you let your personal fear of failing at something new you start, if you know it's the right thing, stopping you from succeed, then your whole life will become a mess. Fear of failure holds people back. It prevents people from reaching their potential, from becoming the people they were meant to be, and other things. And that's often a reason why people don't succeed in anything they do, including this business. The good news about our business and our system is that there is a way to overcome that fear if you just get enough of the right inputs from this business. But that's the reality. Now, the good news is this. If you just do a few things right, you'll be in the top percentage of this business. It takes a lot. You can ask, Dr. Ramesh Babu, what it takes to be in the top 5% of doctors in India today. And he is. But that takes a lot of effort. That's like a 2-decade commitment to your medical career to become. If you're a chartered accountant, what does it take to become top 5% in your profession? A lot. Decades. And lots of intelligence, focus, work, sacrifice, etc. To go into the top 5% of the Amway business, all it takes is to do a few basic, logical, simple steps. And I'm going to now go through 5 steps. And it's my very firm belief, after doing this business for 20 years, that any new person who starts off in this business and do these 5 steps, by the way, you don't have to do them. This thing is forced on you. You own your own business when you're a business owner in this business. So I'm just suggesting some things that I believe can help you to succeed faster. But the Amway statistics are very clear worldwide, that if a person gets activated within the first 30 days of joining this business and starts, the statistical possibility for that person to succeed in this business is dramatically higher than someone who doesn't do anything for the first 30 days. In fact, the overwhelming majority of people who join this business and delay starting after 30 days do not succeed in this business. So let me now share the 5 points that I, based on 20 years experience, have found to be very useful and fast. Pramilla and I have applied this in working with new groups and new people that we are working with in this business. And almost every single person that we are personally committed to, who has kind of reciprocated our commitment, has qualified 21% within 8, 10, 12 months of joining this business as a result of starting off this way in the first 30 days. So is everyone ready for my 5 points? I can't hear you. Are you ready? Okay. Number 1. You need to get very good at using and promoting the Amway products. All the income you will be making from this business will come from product sales of Amway products. The network building and the business part of this is just a method of distributing products that Amway does very effectively. But you need to get good at using and promoting the products, number 1. Number 2, you need to clarify your reason and your dream. I will explain this later. Number 3, you need to make a list of at least 60 people, a written list. Number 4, you need to approach 15 to 20 people in your first 30 days, either with a product approach or a business approach. But 15 to 20 people in the first 30 days. And number 5, finally, you need to commit to learning and understanding the business by listening to 30 audios on what to do in the business from people who are better than you or better than me, that can teach these principles very well. So 30 audios in the first 30 days. So I'm going to come back and share the points, but for the first point, get good at using and promoting and developing customers in the business. I will invite Pramilla, and she will cover that first point, which is very important if you are here for the first time. Maybe you already have started to use a couple of products, but what we are speaking about goes beyond that. It goes beyond just buying some products that someone told you is good, and approach this in a serious way and really wanting to learn all the categories as you would with any business, and then also learning how to share the benefits with other people. So I will invite Pramilla back to share the first point.
Thank you. Now, initially when you join this business, the only experience you really feel or you get is from the products, because there is time, there is money, there is relationships, and there is good quality products. Now, the other 3 aspects takes a while for you to experience as a new person, but the products you can experience on day 1. Now, we have a variety of products. We have healthcare products like supplements, Nutrilite supplements. Namita so beautifully explained. We have, a good range of artistry products, skincare products, and we have some home care products. Now, I will start with the Nutrilite products. Now, anyone here, when you're new, I would suggest that you start with the 3 foundation products. Like we have the plant protein, the Nutrilite all plant protein. I believe, and it's also kind of established very well in India, that most of us Indians, especially vegetarians, lack protein in our daily diet. And Namita explained to us why we need protein. And, we all know at least the body is giving us some symptoms of lack of protein. Some people complain of tiredness, of hair fall. It's all because of lack of protein. So the plant protein is an excellent source of, bridging the gap between the protein you're actually taking and your body needs. Now we have multivitamin. Of course, why do we need a multivitamin? Because we don't eat enough fruit and vegetables. And there is a gap between, because of the farming methods that are currently used, our fruit and vegetable are not as nutritious as it used to be in our grandparents' or parents' age, right? So today we are compromising not only on the quantity, but we are compromising on the quality. Now, if you take a multivitamin on a daily basis, you will bridge that gap. Then we have the omega-3. Omega-3 fatty acids, being Indians, we almost never can consume it in our food because it comes from three oily fish. And we don't eat those fish in India. So this and some kids range. If you have kids, like I have 2 young daughters, and, as a good mother, I try to really give them fruit and vegetable, but there's always limitations with that age group to feed them, vegetables especially. So I do as much as I can, and then I bridge the gap with a kid's multivitamin and a kid's C, especially when you have changing weather, I noticed that when the weather changes, a lot of the kids in school fall sick, and my girls, they are stronger, the immunity is higher. Now, I believe every family, if you're a new person here, every family will need this small range of products. There are about 40 plus products in the Nutrilite range, but any new person can start with this range. It would cost about 8 to 10,000 rupees. And Amway has this first purchase offer for every new person, so you get a small plant protein free as well with this offer. So this is like something you could start with. Now, of course, we have great weight management program. I mean, I could ask the audience, how many people in the audience have actually lost about more than 5 to 8 kilos on this weight management program? Can you please stand up? There you go. Give them a great hand, right? Now, thank you. So, this weight management program is, you see, if you look around, I don't know about Bangalore, but if you look around in Mumbai, I was actually, when we got off the plane, I was observing every person who was standing around me at the carousel. And 9 out of 10 had visceral fat, you know. And nowadays I play that numbers game, you know. It's actually quite scary statistics. 9 out of 10 had visceral fat. Now, abdominal fat, even if it's a little tummy, massively increases your risk of heart disease, of diabetes, lifestyle disease. And we want to, when we talk about health, we want to eliminate that risk. So one great way of eliminating that risk is to get rid of abdominal fat, is to get rid of overweight, you know. I will show you some pictures of some people I know, you know, if you could just bring the first slide on. Yeah, now this is a good friend of ours. He's an architect, and this was him before Body Key. And now this is 6 months later after Body Key. Do you think his life has changed? I think so. His entire life has changed. I mean, he probably works better, he probably thinks better, he feels better. And this is all because of the Body Key weight management program. And this is a very, very busy, executive. He worked for one of the largest banks in India. And when he was working in the corporate sector, he was very, very successful. And today he's an emerald in our business, and he looks like this. He's a great, energetic, when you see him and his son, 18-year-old son, they look alike. That's what this weight management program has given him. So it's fantastic. Next. This is our own, from the city of Bangalore. Rajesh is a advertisement guy, and, look at him. I mean, I couldn't even guess his age. I had to ask him, how old are you? So it's like, well done, great. Now, this is a relatively new person. I met her a few months ago, and she was absolutely not interested in the Amway products or in... she wanted to lose weight, but she didn't want to use any product. She wanted to do it naturally, and she was not interested in anything, right? And I just told her, just try this. What if it works? And she tried it, and look at her. 3 months later, she's lost about 8 kilos. She loves me. She loves this product, It's fantastic. Thank you. So this is so the next range of products we have is the artistry products. Now, in the artistry products, we have the gel cleanser. Now, of course, depending on your budget, if you're a new person here and you decide to start with the 8,000 rupee package of the health supplement range, I think it's a very good idea. But, gone are the days when good skin was for the movie crowd, not movie goers, the actors and the actresses, Today, every person like you and me wants good skin. And it's something that we love having good skin, younger looking skin. It's a fantastic, energy, morale booster when you look at your skin in the mirror and it looks 10 years younger than your real age, And personally, I have used the gel cleanser and the Ideal Radiance for a long, long time. And it has worked very well for my skin. I mean, I'll show you a before and after picture of myself, before artistry and after artistry, and you will see the huge difference. Yes. So this was me before artistry, and this is me after artistry. You know, amazing, isn't it? And I would give most of the credit to this Ideal Radiance, you know. It's a great way to kind of take away the tan, and that's what it did for me. So this is the artistry range. Then we have also some personal care range. Now, if you're living in a normal home, you are using some personal care products, you know. I would recommend that if you are even considering doing this business, then you start using the personal care products from this business. Like we have a great toothpaste. I mean, everybody uses toothpaste. This is also a very good toothpaste. I've been using it for the past 11 years, and it's given me great results, you know. And so you could start using the toothpaste. This is a laundry detergent, you know. You not only save your machine, but you save your clothes. You save the color of your clothes. You know, your clothes get brighter. And it's a fantastic liquid detergent. It's so easy to use. It gives you a great smell. The clothes smell great, even in the rainy season. So it's a great laundry detergent. And in our home, because we're serious business builders, you know, we believe our business is what it is because we use the products, you know. I'm a firm believer of the products. I'm the advertisement of the products. So when I walk somewhere, when I walk into a room, people look at me and say, if I walk into a room with mothers, they say, wow, you don't look like a mother of two. And then I say, yes, it's Body Key, you know. So I advertise my products by using my products, right? And that's how a new person can start even talking about the product. See, you cannot talk about how much income, you know, the front row people make, because it is not personal. But you can talk about a product that has changed your skin, or you have lost weight with, or it has changed your, you know, health, something. So these products are something everybody, a new person can use. Start using them, and then we start recommending them. And that's how you get these 3 customers that Amway requires you to have. And with those 3 customers, I mean, the last person you saw on Body Key, the lady who didn't want to do Amway business or use the Amway products, she started using the Amway products. And today, she recommends the Body Key to everybody she meets. Last month, she earned 15,000 rupees just recommending the products to people. Wow, it's fantastic. Thank you so much. I'll hand over back to Staffan.
Great. Now, number 2 is before you start anything, you need to know why. And you may have a vague idea about why you should do this business, but the clearer that idea is, and the stronger it is, and the faster you will grow in this business. So one of the things we suggest for a new person to do, this was I was suggested to do when I was brand new, like you may be here today, or relatively new, but I did not do it. As a result of not doing it, after 9 months of doing this business, I had no results whatsoever. I honestly believe that one reason, because I was doing the other things that I'm speaking about now, I was using the products, I was doing the other points, but I was not doing this one point, and that is to write down a list of 100 dreams. Now, that may sound silly to some of you. Why should we do that? Now, the older you are, the more silly it sounds. And I challenge anyone who is above age 30 to write down a list of 100 dreams, things you want to become, do, travel to, buy, give, whatever it experience, whatever it might be. I challenge you, and I can guarantee you that you will not be able to write down 100 dreams in one go. If you are listening to this as an audio CD that Network One probably will release at some point, I would urge you to stop the audio recording right now and start writing down at least 10 dreams to start with. If you can get up to 30, I'm impressed. But 100, why? To make you think beyond. The older we get, the more difficult it is to dream. Someone who had a dream to be, significant, become a chairman of the company, or travel around the world, by the time they reach, age 40 and working, the only dream is to pay the house loan every month and not to go backwards. I mean, what a way to live life. Some of you may think that it doesn't work to write down your goals and dreams. Science, behavioral psychologists, people who are teaching and coaching the top people in success in the world would strongly disagree with that and say writing down your dreams is something that, or goals, is something that every successful person do. We even speak about doing a simple thing like making a dream book and putting down some pictures for your family that you want to achieve and do. This is just our family's dream book, things we want to do in our family. The kids have 2-3 pages of their own. Pramilla put a picture of herself here, running exactly how she wants to be fitness-wise, and that's exactly what's happening. The kids have 1 page for themselves, and they have put together a page for the things that they want to do with their life and what they want to achieve. In fact, our kids put down that they want to buy a bicycle. One of them put down. We want to have a bicycle. Now, can we afford to buy a bicycle? Yes, we could. We could afford to buy a nice bicycle. So what we do when they write it down, we don't just buy it to them. Just, yeah, we'll buy you anything we want because it's within our budget. We tie it into a goal and say, okay, when mom and dad will achieve this in our business, because you see, it's not Pramilla's and my business only. One day, this business will be Hannah and Lisa, our daughter's business, because it's a business that can be inherited once you set it up. So when we have achieved this in our business and we set a small goal, then we will go together and get the bicycle. We'll go and look at it now. And we take them to the bicycle shop. And of course, they want the pink one, the other one wants red. They are girls. And now they are excited about this. And when we reach that small goal, it could be just a 1 month or 2 months goal. Then we celebrate by going and buying that bicycle for them. It could be, smaller things like that. But the key is set family goals and reward yourself. Thank you. When you reach those goals. We have put on pictures of places we want to travel to, things we want to do. This is easy to do, also very easy not to do. But write down, to start with, a list of 100 things you would like to do. You can write down financial goals in that. You can write down professional goals of your job if you're excited about your career. Write it down. It might happen. And with the business goals, of course. Now, step number 3, after you do this, is to make a list, a written list of at least 60 people. I wish we could just stop this talk right now, and I would say you've got 20 minutes to write down a list of 60 people. Because the fact is that most people will take this very lightly and want to make a big income from this business, skipping the most basic, easy steps, and they won't do it. The percentage of people who hear me saying this and actually will go home and sit down and write down a list of 20 or 60 people is very small. Why? It's very easy to do it, but it's also very easy to do it and it's not to do it, and it's not urgent. What we suggest is that you take it seriously and make a list of 60 people. Then you write their name, their age, their profession, and whether a health approach, a product approach, or a business approach would be the best thing for them. And then you make that list to have that to discuss with your upline. What's the best way to make a list? Your mobile phone. There is no one here today who doesn't have at least 300 names in your mobile phone. So we suggest you don't need to put on everyone, but at least put on 60. Now, some guidelines for making the list. Number 1, written. Number 2, do not prejudge people on the list. The biggest mistake you could possibly make is to say, too young, too old, too successful, too unsuccessful, not living in my city. Big mistake. It will cost you much to leave people out. The third principle of the list is, it should be people on your success level and above. Doesn't mean that people need to make the same income as you do, but they have to have at least your mentality and success mentality. Because what we have found is that when people start this business, I have a successful person. He's a vice president of a large company. And he desperately wants to build this business. And he told me that he had shown it to 2 people, a couple of days back. One was the watchman of his building. Another one was the peon in the office. Why? I asked him, if you were to start a traditional business or hire people for your organization, would you have spoken to the watchman and the peon? No. So why do you do that for this business? Why are you trying to work with people who most likely would not be willing to do what it takes to build this business? So look for people who are already have a success mindset, because they will be more open-minded and you will get less rejection from people who already are quite successful at what they do. But write down, everyone. Make a written list is very, very important. That is not your first 30 days, okay? That is your first day. Before you have made this list, nothing can happen. Stop the audio, take a break, make a list of 60 people. It takes 20 minutes to do it. Yet most people don't. Why not? Because they think that keeping a mental list will be enough. It will not be enough. So make a written list. Now, step number 4 is to approach people. Now, here is where the problem starts for most people. And Pramilla already addressed it. And the only thing I can tell you is this, that if you believe that this business is ethical, it's honest, it's workable for your family, and you may not have many other options to get the type of results in your life that this business can get. If that's the belief, then the big question is, why would you not be willing to share this with other people? The only logical reason would be that the fear of doing something new would be bigger than your dream of achieving it. Do not let small things like fear of rejection or fear of failure stop you from starting something new, because nothing will happen unless you take this 4th step of the 5. Approach people. And we recommend approach 15 to 20 people minimum in your first 30 days of the business. 2 days back, I had a new person who was resisting this. And they had just joined the business. They want this business to work. And they said, we don't have time to show it to 20 people in the first 1 month. Okay, then, how do you suggest that it should work? I asked them. They said, no, I don't know. So I said, why don't you just call a group of people together to your home for a health meeting? And they said, yeah, we can do that. So they had 8 people confirmed for the meeting. Then we asked them to make some more phone calls. They ended up having 12 or 13 people coming to that health meeting. And we just spoke about health to start with and the products. We didn't even try to sell the products. 8 people out of 12 became customers on the spot, and 4 liked it. Now, the confidence came. The person who was scared of taking action is now all of a sudden confident and believes that this business works. And now they start to add to the list. The list of 60 became 75 all of a sudden. And they started to make phone calls on their own and do things because confidence came up. You cannot win if you don't begin. You have to take the first step. I'm afraid. If you work in an office and if it's related to meeting people, your management will not accept, I'm afraid of speaking to people. You have to do it whether you like it or not. This is your business. This is your life. There are many ways to approach people. You can learn how to show a quick plan. I never had someone doing the plan for me because my upline was not living here. I had to do it all on my own. I had to start on my own. Hopefully, you have access to someone who can give you guidance and support and help you in the beginning. You can see how they do it. Then start that way. But showing the business plan is very simple. There is a weekly meeting called the business preview where you can invite people to see this business and understand the products. And the conversion ratio from that meeting is very high. There are many ways you can approach people. One of the most, I will share one other story, how I approached someone who lived in another city, who I did not even know, with a phone call. And that person joined the business. And that became a large business. I'll share that story soon. So there are many ways you can do this. But in the first 30 days, with your upline's help and support, approach at least 20 people personally. Phone calls, WhatsApp messages do not count. Okay? This, I know that we are into social media, etc. But posting on Facebook where you have 100 followers and saying something does not count for this at all. I'm speaking about personally explaining the product or the business to at least 20 people in the first month. Now, why 20? Because I am convinced, based on my experience, that if someone shows this to 20 people, you will have at least 2 to 3 ABOs working, maybe joining, maybe more, 5 to 6 customers, maybe more, at least in worst case scenario. And there will be 7, 8 people who may say no. That's fine. That's the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing that can happen is someone saying, no, I don't want to make more money. Or, no, I'm not so interested in health products or beauty products. That's the worst thing that can happen. So that's point number 4. Approach 20 in the first 30 days of joining. And the final step is Number 5, learning. We have many ways to learn. One of the first things you should do when you have become a member of MBA is to download the digital toolbox that MBA has. And we have spent crores of rupees developing this. There's lots of videos, resources, catalogs, product information, even commission calculators where you can estimate how much money you will make based on your structure in the business. It's a free app, both on iOS and Android. You can download it. You access the MBA website. That's another, website to access. These are basic things with the business. Then, learning. Network 21 has a mobile app. That mobile app is worth so much because you have access to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years combined experience in how to build this business. I am learning from that app daily. There is a lot of resources. Every month there are new audios coming on that app. And I personally would not stand here today had it not been for that type of resources. That's what kept me in the business. That's what kept me believing that I could do it. And that's what helped me to learn how the business works. Speak to the person who brought you here, how you can access and register on the mobile app. It's very simple. It's not a big investment at all. It's just a few hundred rupees. And it's very, very simple to get started on doing that. The president of Harvard University many, many years back was asked by someone in a gathering, and the person asked, sir, don't you think that the fees of your university is on the higher side? Not everyone can afford it. And the reply of the president of Harvard University was, if you think that knowledge is expensive, try ignorance. So we are not saying that you have to learn and listen to resources and come to meetings to succeed in this business. It's optional. We are just saying that why would you want to waste time figuring out things on your own when you can learn a pattern for how to do things based on people who want you to succeed, who have already done it before you. That's the simple logic with this. Just get on the mobile app, and the point here, number 5, is not just to get on the mobile app. It is listen to 30 audio recordings in the first 30 days of the business. I don't have time. Everyone has the same amount of time. It's what we do with our time that is different. How much time do you think the average person spends on social media per day, if you count all the few 1-minute things here and there, or the news? A dramatic amount of time. We are talking about huge amounts of time spent on that. What if you would invest 40, 50, 60 minutes per day listening to these audios instead? That's point number 5. That's my point, 5 points. Use the products, get good at using the products and promoting the products. Step 2, clarify your reason and dream, make 100 dreams. Step 3, make a list of how many people? 60 people at least. And do it now on the first day. Your 30 days start the day you make your list of 60 people. It doesn't start, now. It starts when you make that list. Some of you will do it tonight. Step 4, approach at least 20 people. And step 5, learning. 30 audios in 30 days, 1 per day. Almost everyone I have had doing these 5 things have become what we call core in the first months, which we explained in the leaders meeting. And they have moved towards you, so people coming up on the stage who are what we call 20 plus VIP, which is an incredible structure that you can ask your upline for information on that works, and what we call leaders club in the business. These are all stepping stones to success in this business. And if you learn how to do these basic things, all you need to do is to help others to do the small basic things you have done for this business to work. I'm just going to show off with some pictures and I'm finished. The first picture I want to show you is me 20 years ago here in India. It's interesting how this business keeps you young. I'm actually same weight now as I was back then. I feel more energetic than I did 20 years ago, honestly. And that's not my experience. You can ask any of the leaders who have been part of this business for long. But this is how I started, with no one. I did not know people in India. And this is how I started my business. Next. Now, you can see the man on the far right. Okay, he's in the audience today. I was very depressed one day. I had not got any results. I did not have anyone to show the plan to. What do you do then? Either you go home and feel sorry for yourself, or you get into solution mode and increase your list. List, add to your list. Because you cannot build this business without having a list, by the way, and it has to be written. So I knew that there was someone who knew someone, and that person had mentioned to me that his brother-in-law was very, ambitious. So I got the number. I called a stranger from Mumbai here in Bangalore, and we connected on the phone. I managed somehow to make him understand that he should research this. He came to a meeting like this many, many years back, and to make a long story short, within the first year of joining this business is qualified 21%, and he qualified platinum, sapphire, emerald, and that's them diamonds today. Anand Vasanta Bhargava. That's me and them on my first trip to Bangalore 20 years back. Actually, Anand, you look old on this picture. I don't know why. What happened? But that's him 20 years back. Now, how did that happen? I put him on my list. And then I made a phone call that I did not feel like making because I was sure that this stranger will not do the business, but I still made the call. Do some things outside your comfort zone. Everything you want in life is outside of your comfort zone, not within your comfort zone. The comfort zone, doing these things that is comfortable, routine, habits, every single day, will not promote your life. It will destroy your life, I promise you. Do something outside of the comfort zone. Listening to 30 audios in the first month, maybe it's outside your comfort zone. Do it. Approach that one person and make the phone call. Do it. Next picture. This is me 20 years back with a group of 11, 12 people. This was my group after a few months in this business of leaders. Today, later, I have more than this number of people, much more, joining my business every single day, whether I am doing it or not. That's duplication. How did it start? Make a list, listen to audios, come to meetings, show people the plan, show people the product, and finally I ended up with this small group of people, and I was very depressed. It doesn't look like it on this picture, because I felt that I was doing everything. No one is doing anything. I didn't have anyone to complain to. I could not complain to my upline. I had to complain to myself. Sometimes it's better to complain to yourself than to your upline, but I was not happy with this. But when I fast forward this picture 3 years, I went emerald because of 3 people on this group. The rest of the people quit. But my emeraldship came from this little group of people that I assembled in the beginning. We believe that if you sponsor about 20 ABOs, who are not customers, they should be customers, but people are actually business owners who are ready to do some things in this business, from 20 you will most likely statistically be able to find 3 people you can work with and develop these 3 groups to be what we call emerald, which is, we saw an emerald today, by the way. Let's give him a big hand and his wife. It was very powerful recognition to see them recognized. I almost got tears in my eyes because I know what they had to do to go emerald. It's all outside of the comfort zone, but they did it, and we respect that a lot. Next. This is me and Pramilla when we qualified Executive Diamond. We wanted Mitch to come to India, and the only way was to move up in the business. And this is us just going to Lake Palace in Udaipur, spending time with them, a few days at that hotel. It's good to put that in your dream list. It's wonderful. It's an experience. It was on our list of dreams, and when they came here, they said, come on with us. On one day notice, we just decided, because we had the flexibility and the time, and we spent wonderful time getting inputs from people that we value and love and respect, who can add so much value to our life. Next. This is a business trip. On short notice, I had to go to Delhi and conduct a meeting. And my youngest daughter, Lisa, here, said, I want to go with you. Because for her, it's traumatic that I'm going away, It's traumatic. It's like, oh, how can you? Because we're so used that we are home all the time. So I said, you come with me. And of course, we had a little, discussion, Pramilla and I. Oh, you cannot take her on short notice. I said, come on, it's possible. So Pramilla agreed. And I just took her with me. And she came with me to Delhi. This is on the flight. And if you can see the photo, there was no limits on the food. She had 3 muffins on a 2-hour flight to Delhi because she was alone with me and Pramilla was not around. Then we stayed in a 5-star hotel, and I just did a 2-hour meeting, and then I spent the rest of the time with her. We had dinner together, we dressed up and had a romantic dinner together, candlelight, and she felt like a princess. And it was a wonderful experience. Next picture. When I asked her what was the best memory of the whole trip, you don't know how much money I spent on this trip. Flying my daughter business class to Delhi, that's like 20,000 rupees per ticket back and forth at least. Then, 5-star hotel costs money, everything costs money. And I asked her what was the best thing in the whole trip. And she didn't even have to think. I bought her a lollipop at the, coffee shop of the hotel. And that was her biggest memory, spending time with you and the lollipop. It doesn't take much time. It doesn't cost money to please a child. It's not the 5-star hotel and the taking the airline somewhere. It is that time that you can get with your family members that matters and that is really worth it. Next. Final picture. This is just me and Pramilla, where we stay in Mumbai. You can see the Arabian Sea. You can have the peaceful view. This is our terrace. This is just a normal day, Monday, Tuesday. I don't know, we get a beautiful sunset there. It's very, very difficult for us to go out and build a business at night because we get this perfect sunset. And it's tempting sometimes to just let's just sit. That's what we did for 8 years. We enjoyed those sunsets somewhere else. We experienced that. But there's a time to work, there's a time to play. But we have the choice to sit home and have dinner together as a family, and we do very often, every single day. No stress, waking up in the morning, purpose in your life, balance, health, relationships. Anyone who is new here today, focus on the 5 things in the first 30 days. After you do these things, there are other things you can do to fast forward your progress in the business. But start by making a list, making dreams, and approaching people in the first 30 days, get good at the product, and you'll be amazed what you can do in this business. And we want you to come and join us and succeed in this business because it's a great life, and we warmly recommend it. Thank you.